So we'll play the Hippo, pass our turn, and we're going to Petty Theft, bounce both of these back, draw a card. Pretty good value. Don't you dare target me. Again, if it has a fight effect, we're going to bounce his creature so it won't actually do anything. It'll fizzle. Straight to the grave. Oh! Ooh. I don't know about that. Garrick in the house. Hopefully he pluses. Right? Right? Come on, hit him with the plus. Alright, that's not bad. Getting hit for 11 and 12 here. Nice, 13 because the Scourge goes up as well. Woo! I wonder if he has a little bit of protection through Heroic Intervention. I certainly hope not. A bingo bango bongo. Dual bounce plus the draw. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. We're chilling within Mythic today, 751. Amonkhet Remastered just hit Arena. We have a ton of new cards to be farming. We can buy packs, play seals, play drafts. So no matter which way you want to go to be getting these cards, you can get there. Rotation season hits in September. We're getting close to that. This will be the second rotation season within Arena. So the historic card pool is getting massive. And I think this will become the dominant queue within Arena as we progress. However, for those of you just starting out, you may struggle to get into the historic pool because it is so vast and you don't have quite the card pool to get there. So we are talking standard today, and Wizards was nice enough to release 15 new free-to-play decks to you guys. And we're going to go through and upgrade these decks within the following week or two, incorporating rares and mythics that you will only use within top meta decks. We don't want you guys spending your wildcards or trying to farm for wildcards that you will not use in other top meta decks. These decks are great, they're good entry, but they're not going to get you into the top mythic rank, right? We're going to need to be using those top tiered 1 decks to get there. So to do so, we're going to be using these decks to farm and my other free-to-play budget decks. Be sure to check those out as well. However, lots of you don't have the uncommons for that yet, so this is a great start. And I want to show you guys some potential upgrade guides for each of these decks to make them more competitive, get you farming cards at an expedited rate, maybe even competing in some of those constructed and historic events. So with that being said, if you find any value within this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and share the channel out to a friend. If you've been enjoying any content on the channel, I encourage you to go ahead and subscribe. It's a great free way to support me along this journey. We've got everything from free-to-play budget beginner guides, just general Magic the Gathering Arena beginner guides talking about the principles and archetypes behind this amazing game, some of the top-ranked standard decks, the best historic decks, great original Brawl decks, and some tools and tips, and then we even have a little bit of limited. So no matter what you're into within Magic the Gathering Arena, we have you covered. Subscribe to the channel, join for your chance to win up to 500,000 gems. Make sure to check out our Discord and enjoy this video. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. Playing the new free-to-play starter deck within Magic the Gathering Arena today called Spellpower. This is a red and blue spell-based deck with lots of instances and sorceries. When red and blue are combined, it is known as Izzet. If you're unfamiliar, you've heard that term, wasn't quite sure what it meant. It is the combination of the two colors, red and blue. So we're going to take a look at this starter deck today, kind of discuss it, talk about the strengths and weaknesses of it. Then we're going to jump right into an upgraded version of this deck that I've made. And now again, don't worry if you don't have all of the rares that version has. It's meant to be a road path for you. Start with this deck and begin to interlay some of those cards that you do have available to you already. I don't expect anyone to be spending rare wildcards on these decks. Save them for when Zendikar Rising hits, and just continue to farm them with the free-to-play versions that you're able to upgrade with your current collection. Once we break down that new deck, we're going to talk about its strategies and synergies, just so you get a really good idea of how it's supposed to operate. Then we're going to watch some gameplay footage where we break down all of the play lines and interactions, kind of learning more about how it operates within its environment, right? It's not quite enough to know how your deck works alone. You do need to know how it's going to engage with the rest of the meta and its surroundings, right? Because there's different play lines and different nuances that you're probably going to have to be aware of within the different matchups. We are playing best of one today, so there's no sideboard incorporated. And then finally, we have my closing thoughts, channel plans, all that jazz, right? So if you find any value within this video, it would just mean the world to me if you could, go ahead and give a thumbs up, right? It helps build the channel, and better yet, share it out to a friend so they don't miss out on our 500,000 gem giveaway. Info for that is in the Discord. Let's get right into Spellpower. Now, this, again, is the free-to-play version that everybody has access to. Before we get into much, I want to talk about the rares that you got with this deck. We've got a Temple of Epiphany. Any rare land is a win, in my opinion. This is where your wild cards should go if you have them to spend. Dual lands, and now I know that our shock lands, our cycling, and our check lands are already gone. We're going to be getting new lands in Zendikar, so, save up. And then the Triumphs stay, the Fabled Passages stay, and the Scrylands stay as well. So it's a great way to increase the consistency of your deck and your matches, right? Upping that win rate by default that way. So, each of these dual decks got a rare land. That's amazing. Shark Typhoon, this is actually a competitive card. Enchantment for 6, right? It's amazing. We're going to break down, I guess, each individual card a little bit later as we go. But Shark Typhoon is an amazing pickup. Double Vision, not quite as good, but it's still great. It's a lot of fun. It's expensive, and it doesn't have alternative value like Shark Typhoon does. However, if you can get this in play and it sits there, this is good and can quickly pay for itself within a turn or two. Stormwing Entity. I don't know if it's given 2 of these to you guys or just the one, and it's in both decks, but we received this in the Flyers deck as well. So a very cool card, and it is actually competitive as well, which is quite nice. We've also been given a Brazen Borrower, which is my favorite drop of the deck. This is an amazing card. It goes good in every single deck. Just being able to bounce your opponent's stuff at will, plus the Flash Flyer is sick. So I think other than Stolen by the Fae, that's it. And again, this is similar to Double Vision, where it's not quite competitive. And then we've got the Borrower and Shark Typhoon that are competitive. So a little mix of each. And again, you can bounce something of yours, your opponent's with this card, and create a bunch of blockers. But we're going to break down each individual card a little bit later, because within the upgraded guides, even though taking some of these rares out increases the power of it, I don't want to take out too much that you guys just got, right? As a new player, you probably don't have all of the other rares to put in that I want. So I don't want to limit the power of what you already have through these rares that are in there, because, they might not mesh with the deck entirely perfectly, but they're good enough that when you top deck them late game, it's going to help. It's going to get you there. And actually, I shouldn't say that they don't mesh, because they actually do quite well. Anyway, so the general deck premise or strategy of the Spellpower is to be casting as few creatures as possible, and having these creatures, be rewarded or benefit from your spellcasting. So I guess first off, let's talk about the Gorger. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, +1/+1 goes on the Gorger. That's awesome. So this can become a very big body. Spell Eater Wolverine has double strike as long as there's 3 or more instances and sorceries in your graveyard. So casting instances or sorceries to buff up, putting them in our graveyard to buff us up. Whenever we cast the first spell on each opponent's turn, draw a card. Now this is actually a rare that I skipped past. Also not competitive, but fits very well within the deck. Whenever you cast your first spell during each opponent's turn, draw a card. So that's going to help us to continue play, because that's one of the bummers about some of these instances and sorceries, is that you have the tendency to burn through them pretty quick. And again, create an XX where it's equal to the number of sorceries and instances in your graveyard, then return one to your hand. So you can see just how the deck revolves around instances and sorceries. Again, Double Vision, you get to copy it the first time of your turn. Shark Typhoon creates an XX Shark if you can get it in play. So whenever we cast an instant or sorcery, we want it to trigger something, right? And again, even with the Stormwing Entity, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, it reduces the cost of it. So this deck has very good synergy compared to what we've seen in a lot of the other starter decks. I think that this is one of the better ones, and especially when we do start looking at the upgrade guide for it, it can actually become relatively competitive, which is quite nice. You know, with almost no upgrades. Again, it is one of those things where we're just increasing the consistency mostly, and the power level a little bit. So let's take a look at the upgraded version. Again, you know, play those creatures that have the instances and sorceries trigger something, and then you're just going to get, you know, value from attacking on the field, and then value from whatever you do via your instances and sorceries as well, whether it's, you know, more direct damage, removal, drawing, tapping your opponent's creatures, stuff like this. So that is the main get. Riddleform is really nice in the deck as well. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it becomes a 3/3 with flying, and you can scry with it as well. So that's the beginner deck. I've probably gone on too much about it. Let's jump into the upgraded version though, and begin to take a look at some of the changes we made. Primarily, we're making it more consistent. So we've incorporated more Stormwing entities. This is absolutely amazing in the deck. You get a 3/3 for like 2. You know what I mean? That's so good. We've gone up to 4 Brazen Borrowers as well. Petty Theft can really help us stay alive. It can clean out our attacking lanes, right? So return target non-land permanent and opponent controls to its owner's hand. And that is also an instant or sorcery, which triggers a lot of our shenanigans, right? We've added another Hippocamp. A little bit more draw is a lot of fun for us. We've put in the Sprite Dragon. This is a 1/1 with flying and haste. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 on it. So again, it's just going to be receiving, you know, a benefactor or whatever from our instances and sorceries that we're going to be casting the majority of the time. You can see that we trimmed some of the non-flyer attackers that benefit, like the Gorger, I like the Wolverine, in favor of flying through evasion, right? And the Perfect Pet, which is great. You know, it is still the same strategy. We've added another Riddleform just to make that a little bit more consistent. We kind of liked the damage output there. Double Vision stays where it's at. Shark Typhoon stays where it's at. You could increase the amounts of Shark Typhoons in the deck because that is a competitive card. So I would never make you guys buy more Double Visions. But the Shark Typhoon, you know, go ahead if that's what you want. And then we've added more Temple of Epiphanies to increase the consistency of the land as well. You could go in and add Fable Passages if you wanted to. All right, I guess we've gone on long enough. So let's get right into the deck list, and then we'll talk about the whole strategy now that we've kind of talked about what upgrades we've made to the deck. So for our 1-drop, we've got 4 copies of Opt. This is Scry 1, draw a card, instant speed. We also have Shock, instant speed. Shock deals 2 damage to any target. Stolen by the Fae. So this is in the 2-drop, but really it kind of belongs over here. So let's get to that later. Sprite Dragon, a 1/1 with flying and haste. Whenever you cast your non-creature spells, put a +1/+1 counter on Sprite Dragon. So this can get quite big and one of our favorite additions to the deck. We also have Scorching Dragonfire. We've increased the amount to 4 here. Instant speed. Scorching Dragonfire deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If that creature or planeswalker would die this turn, exile it instead. 2 copies of Riddleform Enchantment. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may have Riddleform become a 3/3 Sphinx creature with flying in addition to its other types until end of turn. We can also scry 1 instant speed for 3. Anticipate, instant speed. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. 2 copies of Frost Breath, our first 3-drop, instant speed. Tap up to 2 target creatures. Those creatures don't untap during their controller's next untap step. 2 copies of Wavebreak Hippocamp. We talked about this, a 2/2, and whenever we cast our first spell during our opponent's turn, we get to draw a card. 4 copies of Brazen Borrower. We also talked about this. It's a flash flyer with 3/1, can only block other creatures with flying, and it has Petty Theft tagged to it as an adventure instant. Return target non-land permanent and opponent controls to its owner's hand. Into our 5-drops, a single copy of Double Vision Enchantment. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. 4 copies of Stormwing Entity for 5, 3/3 flying prowess. When it enters the battlefield, scry 2. That's awesome, and it costs 3 less to cast if you've cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn. So that is absolutely amazing. That's the coolest thing. A single copy of Shark Typhoon enchantment. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying, where X is that spell's converted mana cost. We can also cycle it for 2 plus the generic X cost, so we get to choose how many we cycle it for. We still only get to, you know, exchange it for 1 card. We're not drawing more cards. However, when you cycle Shark Typhoon, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying. So if you don't need a shark, cycle it for 0, just pay the 2. If you do want a shark, you can make it as big as you want with the X cost. We also have Stolen by the Fae, sorcery speed, another scaling spell, X plus 2. Return target creature with converted mana cost X to its owner's hand. You may create X 1/1 blue fairy creature tokens. So the only downside here is it has to actually target something, and you can only create X as big as the target is. So if he's got a you know, like a 4/4 on the field, and you want to make 7 tokens, you're not going to be able to do that unless you are able to target something with 7, and then it would cost 9, and that's quite expensive. So the cool thing here is that, you know, you can bounce whether it's your own or theirs. The bummer is it is sorcery speed, right? So you're not being able to chump block with this. These spells are accompanied by, what, 10 islands, I believe, 9 mountains, and 4 Temple of Epiphanies. Some of these numbers in white with the alternative art is hard to see. Like Brazen Borrower, you can barely see that there's 4. The islands are hard to see as well. And again, so that's the deck list. The general strategy remains basically the same. We are trying to kill our opponent through flying damage. That is our main goal, right? We have the Perfect Pet or the Sprite Dragon. That's a flyer that gets stronger. We have Brazen Borrower that can come in with Flash, and he hits pretty hard for 3. We also have our Stormwing Entity. That is great for 3. And then we can play these Sharks as well, and, you know, some of these 1/1s if we really feel the need. But that's more of a utility spell. Once we are focused on putting all of our flyers onto the field, you know, we can remove our opponent's creatures, especially ones with reach and with flying themselves, because they shut down our attacking lanes, and we want to make sure to be consistently laying in that damage. You know, the Riddleform has flying as well whenever you've cast an instant or sorcery on top of it. Instances and sorceries make the entity cheaper. They also power up our Sprite Dragon, which is great. They can be doubled through double vision, which is amazing. And if we do it on our opponent's turn, we're going to get draws from that as well, which is our primary objective, is to not have our hand diminish. We want to continue to hold card advantage as long as we can, right? So, you know, primarily using your mana on your opponent's turn, unless there is a flyer or a draw engine that you want to get out. You know, if you have the choice and you've already used your Petty Theft, use your Flash flyer and push out the entities as quickly as possible for the Scry 2s. And they also have prowess. So when you are casting spells, they're going to get that +1/+1 as well. They don't stay because they're not counters like the Sprite Dragon, but they will be there for the turn to increase your damage output. That's it, right? There's not much to it. We have Frost Breath in the deck still, so we can tap our opponents, whether they're blockers with reach or the big attackers that represent lethal damage to us. That should help prolong the game a little bit so we can get the kill in the air through our invasion. Invasion, right? That's what we should call this. So that's the deck list. No sideboard. It's best of 1. It's relatively easy, and I think this is one of the more competitive starter decks that we've taken a look at, and the upgrade path was very straightforward, very easy to follow. So like I said, take that first deck. Don't worry about having all of these rares and mythics. Just play the original deck and take what you have and put them in there as little upgrades as you go and continue to farm. Zendikar Rising comes out soon, so we're going to want to be saving our wildcards for those new lands probably. Yeah, so that's all. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm live on YouTube every morning, 6 a.m. at 7 a.m. or after the YouTube live. We switch over to Twitch for the full day, and then again at 6 p.m. we're live on YouTube to close out the day. These are all Mountain Standard times, and we do have the Discord running as well. Links for everything is in the description below. We have a link tree that takes you to all of my stuff, and then an Overwolf link to download MTG Assistant, which I definitely recommend. It'll help you get to the next level within Magic the Gathering Arena, and, you know, maybe get you into the Mythic rank, because you have all of these extra stats to help shape your mindset, and you know when you're doing bad, you know what you're doing good, you know what the rest of the community is doing, and all of that, right? So just a ton of info here within the MTG Assistant. You can see deck write-ups, deck videos, you know, recent events, the metagame. So many things are available within the assistant. I really recommend it. Check out the Overwatch link in, or sorry, not Overwatch, Overwolf in the description below, right? And again, before we get into today's gameplay footage, I have to take a moment to thank all of our financial support on Twitch, Patreon, on YouTube. You guys are amazing at making this a reality. Hopefully, if things continue the way they have been, I won't have to go back to work full-time after COVID. Maybe I just get a part-time job and continue to build this business here for you all. So I've been enjoying it. I know all of you have been enjoying it. So a big shout out to everybody spending their time and attention here with me every day. I appreciate you. Enjoy today's gameplay footage of our free-to-play Magic the Gathering Arena starter deck, Izzet Blue and Red Spellslingers upgrade guide. And we will see you after the video for my closing thoughts. Take care. Ayo, going first. Hopefully we get a little bit of a more in-depth round than that last one. We have the Hippo, so we might hold the Opt. We do need the third land for it, though, so we'll probably take it here. Just to ensure that we get it ahead of time. The Entity's nice, but not without the third land. And then anticipate under that, and then opt under that. So it's a good thing we're going for it. We're going to take an anticipate end step. Oof. That third land is what we wanted, right? Play into a counterspell. Yup. No counterspell. Okay. Must be a bounce. Back to my hand, baby. Could have done that on my attack phase, but okay. We got the Flyers in-house here. I want to eat it alive. One less to cast. I don't think so. Holding up another Anticipate here, I suppose. We also have a Petty Theft, potentially, if it gets bad enough. I don't think it will, though. Yeah, he's just taking a nice draw. We can, you know, get behind that, that's for sure. A little bit of flying, I appreciate. He's tapped. Hippo's in play. We have an opt for double draw. Always getting our engines in play as quickly and as safely as possible. Alright, that taps his mana. He's got one left. Take our double draw. Land, scry, land away. More land. It's a good thing we got rid of it. Flyer in play. 3 mana in hand. Let's just hit for 1. Holding up our Brazen Borrower. He's going to spend all this mana, tap his creature, and then we can't bounce that. We were going to Petty Theft whatever he played. It's got hexproof. Ah! That's awesome! Alright, let's take a double draw. Doesn't have reach. We get like a turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 land in hand. We need the Sharks to just continuously block. Gain control of target permanent? Come on! So we need to hold that until something happens. Tap all non-land permanents. This is brutal. This is brutal! We can cycle in this for a blocker. For 1, I guess. Gives us 3 mana left. We're going to try to get through it. I do not know how. I do not know how we're getting out of this. That Sea God is deadly. 8/8 hexproof. We don't have a single board wipe. Right? And then we didn't want to play our Shark Typhoon because he just gets to take one of our permanents next turn. It's all very bad. We can bounce what he takes back to our hand. But, you know, we need another Shark to cycle to block this 8/8. And again, target creature. He should take the hippo, yeah. Huh. Ooh. It comes to our hand anyways, so we may as well... oh, that's a... Never mind, that's... We have to wait till he takes it, actually. This should make it a blocker, though, for us, right? Because it's untapped it. If he counters, we do have another, sadly. I do not want to use it, though. He's got a lot of cards in hand and 6 open mana. Ugh. Alright, there's neutralize. Let's try it again. Still has a lot in hand, 3 open mana. I would not doubt another counter. He has to have it. Doesn't want to spend his mana, though. Okay. Hippo's in hand. We had hit for 8, right? We've been avoiding the damage so far. Now, if only we could play our Sharknado now, but we wouldn't have survived. Or it would have been very far from it. Or, you know, close to death. Up to 6, though, right? If he's got no bounce, he does. Of course he does. So we need to go big here. We could create 3 tokens. Is that enough to win the game? I don't know. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. It'd be cool, I guess. Thought. Oh, sorcery. Uh-oh! Let's take our draw. Oh, God. That's an important distinction between sorcery and instant speed. Let's just take our draw. We're stopping the damage. It is what it is. Get land out of the way. We need to be playing multiple creatures a turn. So maybe we just still bounce the Borrower back and make all the 1/1s. If we can have that not countered, that would be ideal. Nice. He's pretty tapped, right? Lets us... Because it can't block. We've got 9, so we can cast for 7. Is that incorrect? Oh, it has to have that converted mana cost. That's annoying. So 3, 4, 5 gives us 4 mana left. It would be cool if you could cast it for as much as you wanted. That leaves us 2. We get a plus on our perfect pet. He needs to counterspell this. Nice. This fizzles, but we still get the reduced cost, which we need to take. Bouncing the Thassa to his hand I don't think really does much. The Shock, the Borrower. I mean, I guess the Shock is better. I wish the Borrower would help. It's a hard call here. Let's get that damage in. I guess if he does something to our Stormwing, that's bad. Yeah, okay. We should have held up here a bit. Bummer. And then he bounces our perfect pet too. Nice. Ugh. Close, but really good value here from our opponent. It's annoying, and I hate it. Wow. I don't know, man. No attacks. He's got that 5/5. The bummer is he's going to play it and then rebounce it. You know what I mean? Oh, gosh. We'll double block it, right? Holding on. We'll bounce that. Stop it! Well, that's a headache. Admittedly, we're holding on our best, but this Thassa Riddlemaster, it's killing us! We get a hit for 4. But this bounce will screw us. And when he bounces it, it'll come back in. Oh, that's annoying. Right? Because it leaves the battlefield and re-enters. Isn't that the worst? Gross, gross, gross. So we have to, like, wait, or... Brutal. We at least need to draw on his turn. Not good, though, that's for sure. Hopefully he spends some mana before his attack phase. Could spend a lot of mana just to tap our creatures, right? Get to that damage in. Costs 8, he's got 7. Yeah, we should have done it. That's on us. That's a huge misplay there. We passed through to the attackers. Borrower doesn't help us either. Oops. It is what it is. A good match nonetheless, right? Like, I can't think of anything to do other than just trying to re-tap at Thassa. Just... it ruins my life. I don't think we can tap that. We get to draw. I mean, I guess we have a blocker for this 8/8, which has been out, what feels like since turn 3 or 4. If he has a counterspell, he straight up wins. Oh no, it stays tapped. That's nice. Oh man. Thassa goes back. Just because he can't play it. This is tapped already. And that does not really help us from the creature on the ground, which Brazen Borrower cannot block. Where's the flash, baby? Let's give him an extra choice, you know what I mean? Bounce the Borrower. Alright, good game. Woof. We go first, that's great. Riddleform opening hand, can't complain. Let's pretend we have a shock. Don't play your 1/1s. I'll get him. I'll get him. Oh, we do pull a shock. That's kind of fun. Birth of Maltese. Not really anything we need to concern ourselves with. Let's lay in with a shock. Take our hit. Then we can anticipate on his end step or... you know, some removal. Probably bouncing the 0/4, I guess, right? I wouldn't doubt if we see a counterspell here. Really? Cool, okay. Omen of the Sea. Awesome. Hopefully no shatter / general removal. More bouncing. I really want to start getting some draws from that Hippocamp. Of course he does. Land can go. Let's just attack then. That's how it's going to be. Hit for 4, please and thank you. Perfect Pet is not worth a shatter. Not at a 1/1. Needs to deal with Riddleform. Another Omen. 3 planes. Doesn't really thread me instant speed so much. General Exile, I guess. Yeah, I guess let's just take our Scry. He's got a target to remove. The Scry at least helps a bit, and I think the Borrower is pretty good here. Right, that flash attacker after the wipes. I'll allow it. Down to 12. Not a very good turn damage output wise, but whatever. Gains 2 life there. Annoying. He's got Yorion in hand, I'm sure. And take a quadruple draw, right? Scry's whole deck. I could care less about this damage, so I'm not blocking, not risking it. Definitely. Okay, nice. Sure. Good for you. It's annoying, and I hate it. Really? Okay.
This isn't my first time being the hero.
Obviously plussing. I guess we could have snagged it once he did, or the pluses don't go on the stack, they're just instant, right? Really?
I wish I knew that was coming.
Let's have him snag it, which is fine. Borrower can come out. You can't minus. That double vision is nasty. We're out of hand. He's got a little bit more juice than us left. He gets the draw here. Tosses a land.
I've learned my lesson.
Fairy's gone. We have a double petty theft. He's got nothing for us to bounce. ECD on our vision. Bummer. Takes Borrower instead. Again, we can't bounce any of this. Sucks. We want some value from this. He's going to get a Teferi from his ECD. Right? Brody. I mean, having the Scorching Dragonfire copy itself is nice. You're first, right? So we gotta take note of that. We can't be doing both of them. It's gonna cost more, too. Woof. Not good. There's the giants. To put that back in his hand sucks too, but what else do you do? It's not anything good. Another borrower doesn't hurt.
Let's make this quick.
Let's see if we can do it on the stack this time. Oh, we can. But I think it will still trigger, no? He's got 2 cards that could be counters. Nope.
I waited too long there.
Alright. Elspeth Conquers Death is gone. Fairy's gone again. He still gets to draw. There's the discard. Tomb back in play. Birth is out, that's fine. The tomb is so annoying. Alright. Here comes a little bit of pressure. Hey, that shock's cool. We're just gonna double it. So we can double our petty theft next turn. Down to 7, getting closer. He gets to gain 4 life when this gets 4 counters on it, so take note of that. More life gain here, of course. He's got this giant that can, again, destroy all non-giants. It's taking a dig. Got lots of mana. Lots of cards. Stop it. It's annoying. We're taking it back, though. We're taking our Riddleform back, too. Oh, we can't double it because he has it. No! Alright, everybody's dead. This is, again, harder than I was envisioning. Because it doesn't... Wow, what do we do? We're going deep. I want the damage. No! Not good. He just retakes it and we wasted it. Oh, we should have just played our flyer. The Scry one, I guess, helps. I don't know. That was kind of the clutch moment, and it didn't go the way I wanted it to. Giant in play. Here comes our Scry. Okay, it helps. That's what we wanted on top last time. We're just gonna leave that there, and we'll flash this in, and he can pick. No, let's keep our borrower, I guess. Well, let's let him pick. Borrower can't block, the Riddleform can, so maybe the Riddleform's higher value. We should let him choose. Sure, it'd be cool to double this. Seven, so we will need 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8 ain't happening. We can make 3 of our guys for 5. Then he just kills them all again. Let's just take what works. Down to 8. We could hit for 6 next turn if we pull a shock. But I do need just to petty theft this for survivability, I think, because he gains 4 life here, so it would be all into this. Back to his hand. He can destroy our borrower, so that's good, but I don't know if he will. Just replays it. No, he destroys stuff. Okay. Annoying. Down to 5. Another tome. Shoot! More land, of course. Don't you just love that? End our turn. If this guy plays a Yorion, I'm gonna lose my mind. The game's probably gonna break on triggers. Gaining life makes our whole situation a lot harder. Without a draw engine, this game's over. I think we've burnt through all of our borrowers, right? Pretty much. Just stop it. Get out of here. Oh, we cannot block non-flyers, so take the hit. We need a Frost Breath, baby. In a big way. Six Omens in play, no big deal. Hit for 9, lethal next turn. Oof. That does not do it. We should have taken the Scry before our draw. Shock doesn't do it either. Good game. Let's see what we would have gotten. Shark Typhoon could have helped. Let's let him finish his round out. He worked hard enough for it, right? This is over a 15-minute match. Pretty fun as well. Like, both of our decks aren't tuned too highly, but they still have great cards in them. Hit for another 9 for -4. GG, RIP. It's not a lot of land. 2 Stormwings are cool, though. We could scry a 3rd land and go from there. I hope. We have a secondary blue source within our temple, so the red's not so bad. If we take our opt, we can put our Stormwing out. Oh! No, yeah, that works. Land can go. I forgot that it reduced it by one of the blue costs as well. Try to get that double vision into play. That's pretty cool. Scourger, that's fine. I guess let's take the turn off so we can play it next turn, right? Just leave it there. And I think we should just take a nice big hit here. Right? Push up our prowess. Get it while we still can. Hit for 4. He's on 4 as well, so say hello to Questing Beast. Another Scourge, okay. It goes to 3, we go down to 3, so I'm not really looking forward to trading, so I think we just take another 4. Right, because if he plays something with 4, which I assume he will, the beetle goes to 3, and it just doesn't even matter. Nice. Okay. Big hit. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Right? And then whenever you cast your first spell during your opponent's turn, draw a card. So we'll play the Hippo, pass our turn, and we're going to Petty Theft, bounce both of these back, draw a card. Pretty good value. Don't you dare target me. Again, if it has a fight effect, we're going to bounce his creature so it won't actually do anything. It'll fizzle. Straight to the grave. Oh! Ooh. Hey. I don't know about that. Garrick in the house.
Back off.
Hopefully he pluses.
Let nature
right?
grow.
Right? Come on, hit him with the plus. Alright, that's not bad. Getting hit for 11 and 12 here. Nice, 13 because the Scourge goes up as well. Woo! I wonder if he has a little bit of protection through Heroic Intervention. I certainly hope not. A bingo bango bongo. Dual bounce plus the draw. It would require us to pull. The Borrower will allow us to draw on his turn. That gives us 3 mana here. Wow, this thing's annoying though, right? I mean, it was a good play, but I think we're going to need a little bit more juice to get us out of here. Garrick is tough. A lot of value. We really need to start bouncing this double vision. We can cycle a Shark for 2, for 1, and play the Borrower. Alright, well, we have to take the draw with the Borrower first, because we die. Oof. 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 Sign me up. Shouldn't our copy go on top of that, though? Oh, no. That makes me so sad. I don't think it does. Alright, we get rid of that intervention, at least. I thought we had him. I was getting excited. We have no ability to cycle. Well, we can, but oof. It would just be for a draw. Not good.
Buckle under our might.
Cycling for 0. Borrower's good. 2 borrowers is even better. Bounce. Bounce. Oh, it feels just like a Lucky Clover. So good. And we will play this, please and thank you. Good game. We had another petty theft. Woohoo! This hand actually looks pretty cool. We have a turn 2 perfect pet, or the Sprite Dragon, if you're more familiar with the non-art name, or the regular card. Dorat the perfect pet is the alternative art name, right? With the Ikoria Godzilla theme, which is pretty cool. We can't see the original art here. Normally you can, I think. Waiting for our opponents. We do have also 2 petty thefts, which is great. And then a Riddleform as well. So we'll play our pet, play our Riddleform. That bounces our pet up. And then we can start playing our Borrowers, which then will bounce our pet up again. And we'll trigger the Riddleform, and you know, so on and so forth. It should be a pretty nice win. And one of our more optimal draw hands, right? 2 islands for the Borrowers on the long end. Let's hold up a shock. Frost Breath taps him as well if there's any reach. Riddleform's out. Oh, actually, we were gonna go pet. That's my bad. Oops. Whoops! First misplay of the game. We literally broke it down at the start too. Right? And we don't have the secondary. Oh, so gross. But what we can do, and this is really nice, we're going to shock this. The form comes out, we can play our entity, still get some damage, remove his ramp, get our flower out at a reduced cost, scry 2, and yeah, that's everything we've ever wanted. Brazen Borrowers, a little bit more land, sign me up. And then we get 3 damage here as well, so our shock, even though it went on a creature, was not negative valued because it had effects on the back end that really helped it out. Lots of the times on these creature decks, if you're using a burn for a creature, you know, they can come out ahead, especially with cards like this, that when they enter the battlefield, they draw a card and replace themselves. So we need to be making sure that we're getting additional value out of our spells as well. He's taking a full turn off. We have nothing for the turn after. But let's just stack up. We do have haste, at least. 4 for a double Borrower, which we have 3 of. That's crazy. One of my favorite cards. Our opponent's just taking a second to figure out his best play. Sitting on 6 land, which is no joke, right? There's a lot he could do there. Snapper. Nice. So he's just spent 4 mana. We're going to spend 2 mana to basically have the exact same thing happen again. So we're getting positive net gains there. Ooh. This guy's trying to aggravate us. We hit for 7 lethal next turn. He needs some reach. Well, yeah, he needs some removal, if we're being honest. The beanie is in the field. Oh no, that was the just the ramp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Snapper back in play. We have lethal anyways. Let's just wait. See what we would have gotten. Opt is fine. Let's bounce a snapper. There's lethal. Pretty straightforward deck. Going first on 2 land could be worse. Pulling the third is really all we need. Scrolling for it off the start. Preferably an island is the thing, but beggars can't be choosers. Really all we need is the one island. Get that Riddleform in play, I believe, as he's not got any creatures for us to remove, and then when we do remove them, we're getting additional value with that 3/3 flyer. A lion. That's awesome. So here's a good example of said situation. But it's annoying. And I hate it. Do we leave it in play? Because then he can protect it. Or do we just deal with it now? Let's leave it alone, right? We're going to try to hedge our bets on the long part of the game. We're going to go a little bit longer than we want. But by placing these value engines on the field, if we can position ourselves to make it there, we will be, you know, very well off. No blocks here. He's tapped, so he's not really a threat. Izzet protects it. Not from, well, it actually does. And we didn't take the draw either. Or we couldn't, we were tapped, I'm pretty sure. Life. So let's hold the phone, right? Playing on our opponent's turn. We have instant speed interaction if he's got some sort of shenanigans in play or as a plan. We can Dragonfire. He can sacrifice this, target it, and then we can bounce it. I think that's our best bet. Or we bounce it, he targets it, and then we burn it. That's better yet. And then it can't come back. And we've got rid of 2 creatures. Stop it! Right? So we are going to go with the bounce. He tries to give it protection. And then no mana for El Destructo. There's a long con for you. It's not an enchantment creature or enchanted, but it will survive. Dirty dog. Okay, good hit. You know, I'll admit that. He was prepared. I thought we had him. I thought we had him there. This is instant speed. If we just hold up 3. Hoping that there's no life gain. And he also can't deal lethal by dealing with our Stormwing, I hope. It's gonna be weird. It is an ECD, isn't it? Don't you dare. Nice. As long as there's no life gain. Instant speed buffs up to 9. Another one to 11. Perfect hand. Whoa. Well, I guess I know where Gandalf went. Jeez, that was a perfect hand. Woof. Low expectations. I know, right? As you should have with my skill level. A lot of people complain about my misplays in comments. It's like, have you not been listening? Misplay is my middle name, my friends. But regardless, we're here to learn. We're here to win. We're here to enjoy a game that we love. First and foremost. And, you know, if you've not checked it out, the State of Design article got released. It goes back to like 2005 or something. Just basically talks about all of their decision making processes throughout Magic the Gathering research and development, all that goodness. Check it out. It's really cool. It's a good read. And it will put your mind at ease. I'm not 100% sure what we're waiting on here. Just some deep space thought mulligans. Give ourselves a little cycle. And does anybody notice that this dog sneezes up butterflies? I'm not 100% sure that's healthy. I don't know much about Hawaiian dogs, but if my dog was sneezing up butterflies, it would be going to the vet. Like, this isn't right. Especially more than once. This guy does it every day. We'll just keep our shock. I guess we can anticipate. I don't think it matters too much. We could save it and just use it after our wave break, but yeah, that's probably best since we're playing our wave break anyways. Scorch this. Just so he can't ramp. And people do not like that, I guess. Spellpower, pretty cool free-to-play deck as you see here. You know, I think this is relatively fun and competitive, at least within the lower ranks. You know, you should have no problem playing this through gold. I know there's top meta decks there, but this is good enough, especially if you start incorporating some of these upgrades that you're going to see in the deck list within the description below. You know, just the Sprite Dragon, you know, leveling out some of our removal and draws, making it more consistent. The Petty Theft, more entities. You know, this is a contender for sure. You have a lot of fun matches at the very least. So I thank you all for your time and attention. As far as future content plans go, we are within Mythic, and we are trying to hold top 1,000, trying to do one Mythic video a day, and then, you know, continuing to progress with these free-to-play decks. Now, normally I would be playing them within Diamond and trying to get to Mythic, but I don't want to butcher the rank and just be having needless work that I have to do hours of. So we're just playing a couple matches a day, maintaining, and really trying to get that free-to-play upgrade guide content out for you guys. There's a lot more decks to go. I think we have, if we take a quick look, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 decks to go at least, right? So lots to do. But again, we're getting to the end of it. We're getting close. And then we're back into the daily brawl content, daily historic content, you know, some cool original jank, all that jazz. So I really appreciate your time and attention. Like I think I've already said today a few times. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And all of our financial support on Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube. You guys do not go unnoticed. And this is becoming a reality because of you and everybody spending their time and attention here with me. You know, a big shout out to you guys, not only from myself, but the community as a whole, because I know a lot of you are enjoying this content and it wouldn't be possible without everybody else. So a huge shout out to literally all of you. Thank you so much. Enjoy, you know, some more of my content. Go set on a playlist. That would be awesome as well, right? Let those ads run, boy. Do take care, you guys. More importantly than everything I've said today, go have yourselves a great day and happy top decking. Take care.